Welcome, welcome, everyone. This is an open door, courtesy of our, what shall I call her? Courtesy of Cindy Krupp, who is our resident guru and uh, put her together kind of a person. She has created and manifested this whole gathering over the course of about a year and a half, and we're so grateful that she has created this space for us. It's Thursday, as I said, September 11th. It's just past 4, and this is Finding the Advaita in A Course in Miracles. So Advaita means not to. So we're looking through A Course in Miracles, and we're trying to find the nuggets, which aren't too hard to find, the nuggets of non-duality, or the direct path to the truth of what we are. Today we are on chapter 6, section 7, and I will begin usually as I do with our invocation. So take your seats. We haven't gotten started yet. Just be present where you are. For some of us on the East Coast, it's been a day. We've seen the sun move across the apparent sky, and lots of things have perhaps come into our field. Even those of us on the West Coast, things have come into your field. So just settle in and allow yourself to be wherever you are. And know yourself welcome at this table. And this is a poem by Al-Jamai, the Gatherer. The impulse comes to gather, the quality of how we are together, how we talk. This is our gift to the world. The purpose of every gathering is discovered in the gathering. It's to recognize beauty. It's to love what's beautiful. Conversation rises out of every particle of being. It is all alive. Welcome to this empty table, a cleared place where something new can happen. When you take the hands of someone you love, what do those hands become? So we take each other's hands at this table through time and space, and we will begin. I have thought about this lesson, how to teach it, or not teach it, but to just facilitate the discussion. I am not a teacher in my own opinion. I'm a facilitator. We're all each other's teachers. So I have many notes on this reading, and I have thought, how to best go about bringing out the truth of what is, at least the non-dual aspects of what's in these pages. But so what I'm going to do is just hit on some highlights. And I'll try and, for those who haven't read chapter 6, section 7 yet, and it may be a little different from you since we're reading from the purple book, but that's okay. So this is the Lessons of the Holy Spirit is what this one is called. And the first thing I want to just put on the table is, what is the Holy Spirit? Right? What is that? And Ken Wapnick has a beautiful glossary, which I go to quite a bit. Ken Wapnick is one of the first teachers of A Course in Miracles, and he knew Helen and Bill Thetford. And he's a brilliant person. He's no longer on the planet. But he describes the Holy Spirit in a multitude of ways. And of course, A Course uses many terms to describe the Holy Spirit. It calls it, this is my least favorite definition, the third person of the Trinity. Now, I don't think there are any people in the Trinity, so I kind of balk at that. And in that non-dual tradition, if everything is one, then why do we need a Trinity? Now, I get that a Trinity is an alchemical configuration, and so that's fine. No worries about that. Um, the other way that the Holy Spirit is described is the answer, God's answer to the dream of separation. So it's an idea. Separation is an idea. And so the Holy Spirit is a counter idea. It's a corrective idea to the idea of separation. So we can look at it like that. A Course also calls it the communication link between God and those who are in the dream who think that they're separated. It's a communication link. Cindy says, why not call it the monad? I knew you had to chime in, Cindy, because some people here aren't really familiar with the monad, but we could call it the monad. It's also called the bridge. It's a bridge. So it's a link. It's an idea that links the idea of separation to the idea of wholeness or oneness, right? And the other thing that it's called is the real self, the true self with a capital S, a big S self. And so even in this dream of separation, we can never leave our source. We are always one. And so we can think about it like this. Even when we're dreaming, when the body is asleep and we are dreaming, there are times in the dream when we know we're dreaming. All of us have had that experience, being asleep and knowing that we're dreaming. That recognition of knowing I'm dreaming, that's the Holy Spirit. It's that recognition, I'm dreaming. It's coming back to the true self. It's a knowing, I'm dreaming. This is not real. And we do that in the dreaming, and we do that in the waking dream also. Right? So it's this real self that pulls us out of the dream, even if it's just momentarily. And now what this goes into, I'm going to just quickly go through this, is the concept of a miracle. A miracle. Now, A Course in Miracles does not use the term miracle the way the Catholic Church does or the Protestants do, like some fire in a bush that arises, or some, I don't know. It just doesn't use it in the same way that miracle is used in most of the religious understandings. A Course in Miracles, a miracle is a change of perception. It's a momentary clarity. It's a piercing of the dream so that we see beyond the five senses. So when I see someone in the grocery store and I know that person is love, that's a miracle. I'm seeing what they truly are. I'm seeing through their outward appearance and I'm knowing that they're love, right? Miracles are often not experienced with the body's five senses. They're experienced in the heart. They're a knowing, right? And they are a gift from the big S self to the self that's in the dream. And they are normal. They happen all the time. Miracles are everyone's right. We all experience them. So that's a fundamental teaching of A Course in Miracles. And this idea of miracles applies to this section, this reading. And we'll talk a little bit about that. So a fundamental, let me back up. The introduction to this section is a direct challenge to those who feel that they are the body. It's a direct challenge. And this is very similar to the non-dual teachings, to the Advaita. A fundamental teaching in the non-dual tradition is that you are not a body. And that is the introduction to this section. You are not a body. How do you know this? How do we know that we are not a body? Does anybody want to? I can see Carol smiling. Does anybody want to answer that question? Okay, don't want to put anybody on the spot. So here is how the non-dual teaching teaches that we know we're not a body. And A Course in Miracles teaches very similarly. So the reasoning is that, and we know this right in the introduction to A Course in Miracles, nothing real can be threatened, nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. That is exactly what is translated in this first section. What does not change is real. What does not shift or move or alter is real. So our thoughts come and go all the time. They consistently change. That's the only consistency they have, is that they change. So we know our thoughts aren't real because they shift and move. Hearing is not real, what we hear through the senses, because we hear different things all the time. Emotions change all the time, so emotions aren't real because they constantly change. The only thing that's real is changeless, and the body and all of its interpretations of the outer world is constantly changing. And so the first sentence of this paragraph, paragraph 2 in this section, says, God did not make the body because it is destructible and therefore not of the kingdom. Can't get any more real than that. God did not make the body because it is destructible and therefore not of the kingdom. Right? The body is a dream. It's real at this level of experience. It seems real in the dream, but it is not the true self. It's an experience that the true self is having, but it is not the true self. The true self is indestructible and it never changes. It is what you were when you were 5 and you had the first instance where you looked out upon the world and you said, something inside you said, I'm here, I'm seeing this. And then something the next day looked out at the world and said, I'm here, I'm seeing this. And then at 14, it looked out on the world and said, I'm here, I'm seeing this. And at 22, it looked out and said, I'm here, I'm seeing this. There's something in here that is seeing, and it's changeless. It never changes. It's that ground of being that is always there. Sometimes it's called the witness. It has many names. In A Course in Miracles, it is the true self, right? And we are advised with great love to get to know that true self. Become familiar with it. It is your home base in this world of constant change. That is the altar of the heart, right? That is where the whole I spirit resides, right? So God did not make the body because it is destructible and therefore not of the kingdom, but the true self that knows itself, the center of awareness that is always present, always there, that is of God. So how did our sense of being in a body arise? What the heck is this? Why? What's it there, this being in a body? And again, this teaching follows the same reasoning of the non-dual teachings, and it does so using a different language. The body is very convincing. I'm not taking anything away from that. It's so convincing. It is a phenomenal focus for us into its experience. But the third paragraph literally tells us the body doesn't exist. I'm looking here and I'll read this at paragraph 2, section 3. The body is clearly a separation device and therefore does not exist. The body is a separation device and therefore does not exist. So the body does exactly what it's supposed to do. It convinces you that that's what you are, right? It's such an amazing tool. There's no point and no reason in hating the body or denying the body. Give it all its credit. It is doing exactly what it should be doing. And there's nothing wrong with loving the body, but we must recognize it is not our home base. It's not what we are. We will come and go in the body, but the consciousness, the awareness that we are, is always, always there. So it's a separation device, right? So if we're not the body, what are we? What the heck are we? And so this chapter tells, or this section says, we can investigate. Just like the non-dual teachings do, we investigate, because guess what? A Course in Miracles is not about faith. It is not about believing something that the book tells you to believe. It says, have your own experience. That's the only way you will know. You must trust your own knowing. We will take nothing from you. We ask nothing of you except to have your experience. And so, in paragraph 3 of this section, it explains. Let's take the first experiment. Is it true that the body can heal the mind? No. Can the mind heal the body? Yes, the mind can. How do we know this? Let's just look at a direct example. And we're beginning in the medical establishment to really take this as truth. People that have heart conditions or high blood pressure can get off their medication by learning how to meditate. The mind controls stress. The mind controls the body. The mind has a direct influence on the body. That's just a small example. So this is evidence in our own experience that the mind must supersede the body, right? The mind must be stronger than the body, but we can say it supersedes the body. So we can say that the body relies on the mind in a sense, but it's not the other way around. Now, the body can cause stress in the mind, right? It can do that. No denying that. When the body is not well, the mind gets stressed out. But does the body have the capacity to cause stress? No. The stress is in the mind, and it is the mind that undoes that stress. It is the mind that creates the stress within the body, from the body, what the body's doing, and it's the mind that moves through the stress, right? So they are linked, but the mind is the superseder of the body. Does my body know thought? Does the body know thought? No. No. Does the body really hear? No. All of it arises in the mind. All of it arises in the mind. This is fundamental. When I sit and a sound arises, what hears the sound? It seems to be the body, but it's actually arising in the mind, in the awareness of the mind. Right? This is a fundamental teaching, and it's not the point of today's teaching, but I'm putting it out there. So let's stop for a minute. And I want to just make sure that we are on the same page with mind. And Libby's got her hand up. I see it. Let's see if anybody's got any questions in the chat. Okay. Audrey, you are always welcome. So I want to just talk a little bit about the mind, and we can talk about this together. I want to be really clear about what the mind is, because A Course in Miracles is not clear about what mind is. So A Course tells us that mind is kind of divided, right? It's separated. It calls it separated into capital mind, mind with a capital M, and mind with a small m. And the capital M mind, I call that big mind. Big mind knows it's dreaming. Big mind knows it's connected to source. It knows it. But small mind doesn't. Small mind still thinks the dream is real, right? Right. Small mind is also the egoic mind. It's the ego. Right? Big mind knows its connection, right? So A Course also calls this right mind. Big mind and right mind are the same thing. Big mind and right mind. Right mind is thinking with God, so it's thinking rightly. But the small mind or the wrong mind is thinking with the ego that thinks it's in charge. So I just want to make sure we know what we're doing. Right mind is very willing to allow source to direct it. It's very willing to use what abilities it has from source to discover that it is completely connected to source and there is no separation. The small mind, the egoic mind, the wrong mind, is really incapable of that. So again, we can look at dreaming as an example. So Joan thinks that she's being chased by her mother. Her mother's coming after her with the kitchen knife, right? And she runs in fear. And suddenly, we've all had this experience of a monster chasing us, a monster's chasing us, and we run and run and run in our dreams. Sometimes we're so scared we wake ourselves up, right? So we run in fear, and then suddenly out of nowhere in the dream, the idea comes, I can stop and face this monster. We've all done this. I can stop and face this. And when we do in the dream, what happens? The monster disappears. Or it becomes a tiny puppy or a kitty cat. Or we can hug it. Anyway, the monster transforms, it changes, right? So in this dreamer, the dreamer of the dream is first lost in the dream. It's in the wrong mind. It's believing the dream. It's in the egoic mind, right? It's believing the dream. right? But somewhere in the dream, the dreamer makes a choice to stop and investigate. To stop. What is it that makes the choice in the dream to stop and investigate? This is the Holy Spirit. This is the self, the big S self. This is the right mind. This is the miracle, the change of perception that happens even in the dream. It comes unbidden. It arrives not through the egoic mind. It just arrives, right? This is the non-dual concept of using the thorn to remove the thorn. So this aspect of the mind turns and faces itself and plucks itself out to face the monster. It plucks the monster out by facing it, right? It investigates, right? So that is an example both of a miracle in a dream, everyday thing. It's happened to all of us, right? It just happens. It's love, actually. It's a form of love. And love always abolishes fear, right? So in the dream, we turn and face the monster and the love is gone, right? That is a miracle. It is the self and it is awakening. And that's exactly what we're doing in this waking dream. That's what this chapter is doing for us in this waking dream. Same thing. So the miracle is the shift in the mind. And it's a shift from seeing things in a fearful, separate way to a shift in knowing things are one, right? Knowing things are one. All right, now we're going to get to the heart of this lesson. I'm going to talk about this for a second, and then I'm going to open it up. The big move in this lesson is this: to have, give all to all. To have, give all to all. If you do nothing but play with those few words for the next few months, you will do yourself a favor if you haven't already done so. So let's look at this, because it says to have, give all to all, do only that. Do only that. So this first interpretation, I'm going to give us three interpretations of this this teaching. And the first interpretation is the hardest. The first step is kind of the hardest, because it seems this is directly against the ego. To have, give all to all. Like, what the heck? If I give everything away, I won't have anything left, right? It goes against the ego's sure belief that if I give something away, I won't have it anymore, right? So this is true in the material world, right? Absolutely true, right? If I give my gold away, I won't have it anymore, right? If I give my watch away, I won't have it anymore, right? But this is where the miracle comes in. This is the miracle. Because true perception sees beyond the merely material to what lies beyond the body. This is why this lesson first teaches you, you are not a body. God did not create the body for you to identify with, right? A Course calls this first lesson, this is the undoing of the getting concept. The getting, G-E-T-T-I-N-G. It's the undoing of the getting concept. And we could spend time on that, but it's of getting, you know? It's the undoing of this. Because you see, what's truly valuable is not of the world, but is beyond it. And it is the end of giving to get. So to have, give all to all. This is the end of giving to get. So most people give to get. And what does that look like? I will give you love if you will give me love. I will give you my love if you will give me your love. We have a special relationship, right? I will give you the shirt off my back if tomorrow you will save me from the perpetrator, right? Giving to get. I see you, Cindy, and I know that Livy had her hand up. I'm going to finish this and then we'll open it up. I want two more things. There's a deeper understanding of this lesson. When a course says do only that, we have to know what the all is. What is giving all to all? What is this all that we're giving to? And why are we giving to it? What are we giving to it? Right? We can call it flow. Yes. I will gladly pay you tomorrow for a hamburger today. Flow is what happens when there's a seamless connection between being and whatever is arising. Being and whatever is arising. Being and whatever is arising. So last week we looked at being, hearing. Being, the hearing. I'm being. The hearing is arising. I am being it. It is being. It is arising in my being. I am being listening. This is John Klein, a wonderful non-dual teacher, Francis Lucille's teacher. I am being listening. I am in my being listening to all that is arising. Being, listening, holding on to nothing, just being, listening, letting it move in me and flow through, right? In every moment, I allow all to witness. I allow this witness to all that arises. That is the true self, the witness. And then what do? I give it away. I give it away. So I receive in this moment all that Source brings, and then I give all back to the all. This is to have all, give all to all. I allow all to arise and I empty myself of it completely to the all. As the eternal being I am. And then all comes back to me. All comes back to me. And I experience it now, in the now, now. And then I give all of it back. This is what is meant. To have all, give all to all. It does not mean empty my bank account and run down the street naked. That is not what this is teaching, right? This receiving or allowing all, it is the same as having. Having and giving are the same. It is the flow of having and giving and sitting as the silent witness, the self, the eternal self, and allowing it and being it and letting it be. And that is the jet fuel by which spirit enters the human body. That is the jet fuel. That is opening every portal and letting the light of God shine in. That is it. Right? That is it. Right? So it's being in agreement. I agree to all that arises before me. I say yes to all of it. When I do this, I see that I can contain it all, no matter what it is. I can hold all of it. I am the unlimited eternal container of all that arises in this seeming dream before me, I am stopping and facing this world, allowing it to arise within me, and then I give it all back, which is the acknowledgement that I did not create it. I did not make it happen. I am the willing receiver of all that arises, and I give it back to all as the holy conduit of the eternal now. Right? And as I practice this, as I do this, as I be this, and I am this, I learn that I can hold all that arises, and that I cannot move into the mind that believes in separation. I can stay as the holy witness here, now, and not move into separation out of fear. And I begin to see that nothing is too much for me. Nothing. And I see that having and being, which is infinite, is expressing its love in infinite ways in my holy being, which is the holy being of the all, right? And I see that having and being are the same thing, and I give all to all. And I do only this. I do only this. I am so in love, so in love. And now that is the I open to all sharing. And Livy, you were first, so Cindy's in line. Livy, no?
Just
Okay,
no,
Cindy.
no, this is just real quick. This is just real
Okay,
when you were talking about
okay.
we were in the conversation about sound, I continued to be, like, wow, I had no idea. I had no idea that thoughts can create sounds, meaning that I was vacuuming one night and what I heard were sirens going off, like the kind that you hear with the police and the ambulance. And it was sounding, getting louder and louder. And I know I have a neighbor who was having difficulty. And so I turned off the vacuum to go check out what was happening. And there was nothing, absolutely nothing. And I stopped and I went, holy cow. Not only does my mind create thought, it creates sounds, it creates anything to distract me from just being. And so that's all I wanted to share. It
Thank you.
just was,
Thank you.
I didn't realize that.
As always, Livy. So that's a miracle. That's a miracle, right? You saw that the body's perception is not always true, right? So sound seems to arise out there. But if the dream is in here, if all of this is my dream, then it must arise in me, right? There's no other place for it to arise, right? Thank you. Thank you for that, love. Perfect. Cindy.
First, I can't be the only one in the room that wants to know what's going on in August's head, right? And how I want him to stop covering. Just let it all in. Let it all out.
I think it's just
So much.
wild in like terms of mechanically, logistically, how we're even able to get here, Because like, in a video game, I don't play video games, but I feel like I understand, It's not like the character out of nowhere just like takes over the controller and like logs the person out of the video game out and just takes over. Like that's not possible. It's not made to be that way. How are we even talking about this? What's going on? It's pretty cool stuff, but I'm surrendering to the unknown.
Well, why do you cover your mouth though?
I don't know.
There were a couple.
I'm not gonna do it anymore.
There's so many things I could say, right? But there were two things that came up for me. One, taking this 30-day Kabbalah thing, and I'm really enjoying how he just gets right to the point. And one of his teachings, which You're just so poetic, Amy. I always start laughing when you say, I'm not the teacher. And then all this like beauty just sings through you, right? Um, one of the things David teaches is not to settle. Like he literally says, desire all because you are all. So he's just saying you never left your source. So you are one within the source. So from that place, just let your desires skyrocket. Desire it all because you are all. Desiring less than all feeds the idea of lack. And that was an idea that I didn't quite get. Like he literally says you never settle and you don't ask for less than, and you don't say, oh, it's okay if, and other people should get more because I don't, not all of that. All of that feeds this idea somehow that I am separate from the divine creator, which is all. And that like purity of that teaching was just lighting up as you were sharing. So I just love when truth is discovered everywhere, right?
Yeah,
The other
absolutely.
the other thing is Rana and Diana and I are reading I mentioned it, we're reading The Infinite Way really slowly, just 3 pages a week. And we hang out and we talk about it because we're geeks that way, like there's nothing more fun than talking about truth teaching with your closest friends, which is what we do here, right? 9 hours a week. Um, but typically we end up highlighting or sentences and sections and we talk about it. This particular week, I highlighted specific words on the 3 or so pages, and I never put them together. And when we were together, I read them out loud. And I want to read them to you because they feel like they're totally in alignment with the
Bring it
teaching.
on,
So
baby. Bring it on.
this is Joel Goldsmith from The Infinite Way. Um, the body is not self-acting. All action is mind action. The body responds only to the stimulus of mind. This is true of every individual. The activity of truth, monad, Holy Spirit, whatever you want to call it, right? The activity of truth in individual consciousness is the only Christ. Let the activity of truth in your consciousness be your first and last and only concern. It just felt like, sitting here going, am I a body? Do I have to heal my body? Hell no. All I have to do is pay attention to the thinking, the thoughts in this mind. And when they ain't, I am everything. So desire everything. And man, I never left my source, and all we are is divine. If it's anything other than that, there's some purification required. But the purification is easy because of all the things we talk about here. So anyway, that's what was lighting up for me as I was listening to you. And in all honesty, I'm listening to you and I'm watching August because
Well, I know we all do. He has his shirt unbuttoned and he's got hair on his chest, and we're all.
that was not anything other than like he literally is miming and the excitement and the like you're speaking passion and he's physically expressing the oh my God, the truth is true and it's more miraculous than the body can handle. So anyway, it's fun watching it.
Well,
That's what I got.
thank you.
Now I'm going to explain myself.
Rupert Spira said, I heard him say this, I can't remember exactly where. It's a quote from St. Augustine, love and do what you want. Now, it took me a while to really understand what that meant, because that does mean express your desire, do what you want, as Cindy said, but do so always knowing that the other is yourself. So my desire may be to go rob a store, but I'm not going to do that because I'm only robbing myself. So I have to, these teachings are, but yes, know your desire, guilt free, guilt free. Thank you, Cindy. And Carol, come on down. Is it hot where you are? Carol, I always think Carol's in Virginia or Florida or someplace.
No, are you kidding? I'm in Canada.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
No,
Yeah.
actually, it's beautiful. We're having this extended summer, so it's really so good. Anyway, yeah.
That's right. That's right.
When you were talking about, the dream, that's of us and it's within us. And we know that because night dreaming, I can have a different body, different personality, all kinds of things that are not the Carol personality and the Carol life. But the sense of existence, the shared I know I am, is there. That's the only thing that is consistent through night dreams, this gigantic daydream, and everything else. It's the one thing that, and so it's self-pointing to self in different realms.
Yes.
That's all.
Yeah. Self-pointing to self in seemingly different realms.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So another way of looking at this is that we are both the programmer and the program, right? We're the whole thing. We are the whole thing. So anybody else? Oddsy says, that's why the ego is so good at what it does. Yes, it's the same isness. Yeah, that's what Carol was saying. The same isness that is in the dream is the same isness that is. And A Course in Miracles says we know this when we go to the altar of the heart. And the first chapter that we read, the first that we read, gosh, how long have we been doing this? Is it a year or 2 years in February when we first started this? The altar of the heart is where the I am awareness is. It's right there, centered. That is where it is. I just want to say, I'm going to read this just really quickly. This is from A Course in Miracles, and it's chapter 3. It's in the text. It says, consciousness, the level of perception, that's the level of perceiving something outside, was the first split introduced into the mind after the separation, right? Making the mind a perceiver rather than a creator. Now, this is where A Course in Miracles gets a little confusing about what is the mind, because it says, well, you can have the big mind or the small mind, but then A Course alludes to this mind that is beyond perception, right? And Patricia, and then Carol.
Hello, everyone. I was just thinking about when a child is born into this world, it's free, it's connected to God. It is God. Why are we so attracted to babies?
Right.
And then the separation begins. There's me and there's mother. Starts right away.
Starts right away. Freud realized that, which I just love, and he also realized that the body is the portal to separation. It's the entryway. It is the tool used. And that's exactly what A Course in Miracles says.
And Jung also continually brings it back into, as he describes the archetypes, etc. Anyway, he brings it back to God.
Right, right. So the infant realizes it's hungry or it's cold, and it's not back in the womb, one again with mom, right? Carol, did you want to say something? I thought maybe you were reaching for your microphone. Okay, all right. So to have, give all to all. Do only that. Do only that. And that's it. This is the giant step. That's what it says. And once you do that, once you learn how that works for you, once you have the experience, because as we said, this is experiential. The Course is not telling you what the truth is and then expecting you to just believe it. It's asking you to have your experience, giving all to all, and doing only that. You don't have to do it all day long. You can do it for a millisecond and see what happens. You can do it for a minute. You can do it standing in the line at the grocery store. Just notice. A Course in Miracles completely respects your sovereignty and your intelligence. It's asking you to do this work. It calls it mind training, and see what happens. Right? Have the experience of it. Right? So I'm thinking that when we get together for our half day, we may do a meditation on this. To have, give all to all. Oddsy. So Oddsy has a really lovely piece of music for us to close out tonight. She found the Rumi poem set to music, and it is just, I am so grateful that she did this. And so I'll give, yeah, she started screen sharing. Before you do it, Odds, before you do it, just any last question before we close out.
I just wanted to remind everybody to mark your calendars. I'm not like all that focused on advertising these days. So September 21st, Sunday, from noon to 4 Eastern Standard Time, we're doing our first ever an open door half day. And it's going to be music. It's going to be Amy. It's going to be our version of a 12-stepping meeting, which is beyond awesome. And some more sharing through me, though. If you know me, you know I won't know what I'm saying until I say it, and some more music. And so we're going to have fun. We're setting the intention to rise in consciousness and to have a direct experience and to have a fabulous time.
Yeah.
I'm just disappointed that no one's bringing cake. So that's what I got.
All right. I also want to say, May, it's great to have you here. And I'm so glad you've joined us. And if you want to say anything, please unmute and we can hear you.
Yeah, thank you. It's just cool to I've been listening for like 2 weeks. Like I've listened to all of the ones in this series, and it's cool to see everybody in their little boxes and just be here. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. I think you probably have gotten that this is a space where you just can't make a mistake and you can't say anything stupid. It's just not possible. Nothing is stupid. Everything is for everybody. It's all good. And we are totally vulnerable with each other here because we're all operating out of the same frequency of love. So it's we explore, we can ask anything. We're just looking for the truth and sharing it together. So all are welcome. And now we'll close out. And I just want to say thank you, Audzi, so much for doing this. It's really lovely of you.
Oh, Amy, no problem. I love that you love the song too, and it was 6 minutes long, this song. I'll post the link in the chat if you're interested. So of course the mind was like, how am I gonna condense it to 2 minutes without it sounding like crap? But I just always trust and it works out. So I hope you enjoy it.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living. Come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, and it doesn't matter if you've broken your vow 1,000 times before, still and yet again. Come again, come, and yet again, come, whoever you are, wanderer, worshiper, lover of living. Come, whoever you are. This isn't a caravan of despair, and it doesn't matter if you've broken your vow 1,000 times before, still and yet again. Come again, come, and yet again, come. Come again, come again, come. 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 Come again, come, and yet again, come. Come 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 again, come.
Woo! That was lovely. Thank you. I love us all.